There's something that has been reported by Gartner and a number of other studies and surveys. And it talks about in today's environment where most companies have between 20 and 25 different competitors, the competitive landscape is absolutely intense. What we did yesterday, what we do today to compete and have sustainable competitive advantage over our competition is something we need to think about and not take lightly at all. Companies don't, but we tend to rely on price, we tend to rely on product, and the sustainable competitive advantage in these studies has concluded that it is CX.
Mhm.
It is the experience that we create. As much as we innovate and we constantly are rolling out new products and technologies and benefits, none of them can be sustainable over time because they can be duplicated by our competition. What is your point of view? Because you obviously are a very product driven organization, right? You are constantly innovating and you have to have a good product. You absolutely have to. But what is your point of view on the long-term sustainable competitive advantage for a company being CX?
I'm telling you this as a German. There's the saying that the Germans are very bad at service. Yeah, they don't care for service and they are very bad at providing service. And I'm saying this to you as a German. I think that CX, the experience that we are providing to our customers, to our partners, and I think that the support experience is a big part of it. It can be a very powerful and maybe also a little bit overlooked source for competitive advantage because let's take a look at what makes a competitive advantage really meaningful. So it needs to be hard to copy from your competitors, needs to be meaningful to your customers, and it needs to be sustainable in a way that you can keep this up for an extended period of time. So I think these are the aspects of what makes a competitive advantage really meaningful. And if you take a look at the support part of the things that we talked about, the mindset of people going the extra mile and basically reflecting on how they can provide better value every day to their customers, motivating this change in mindset is not something that can be done easily. We speak about this in a manner that just do it and people will be fine, but it's super hard to do. You need the right people to start with. You need to have the right managers. You need to have the right processes in place. And you really need to buy into this idea to get this done because you also need to sacrifice some things for them. And I think a company that says that customer experience in my contact centers is something that I'm absolutely serious about. And I take the people working in the contact center seriously. And maybe I change a little bit my attitude towards them and allow them space to grow and take the risk. This can be a very beneficial experiment to make for companies. I think it's very hard to replicate it because your competitor also needs to find the right people. They need to have the right leaders. They need to have the right processes in place. I think if you are a company that trusts their leaders and trusts their people, I think this is a competitive advantage that can be built, should be built, and then can be very powerful and a very good differentiator to your competition because there are a lot of companies out there that have great product, but they do not manage to make their customers successful with their products because they're not enabled, they are not connecting the value chain, so to speak. They have great product, but they do not get it out into the customer's hands because they do not have an intact value pipeline. They do not have the teams that would buy into the vision, that communicate the vision, that go the extra mile, and also think, what can I do to make the customer journey easier? Okay, the customer that I'm interacting with now is in a particular stage of the life cycle with us. A motivated employee will think about the issues that they're having now. Next stage, they will be having entirely different sets of issues. What I can do now in rendering my help or consulting them in a certain way is to potentially maneuver them away from those pitfalls, increasing or decreasing the time to value for them. We are making sure that they can go live quicker with less issues and so on. So in my opinion, often overlooked, but in my opinion, potentially very powerful competitive advantage if you can pull it off to create this cultural environment for the people.